Hello, welcome back to the Elite Takeover Podcast, the podcast to get your wrestling news and reviews. And of course, very exciting time with WrestleMania coming up this weekend. Be sure to check out our WrestleMania predictions coming up later. But first things first, we need to go through NXT Stand and Deliver. Did they stand? Did they deliver? It is a very important question. Of course, I am the host, Aidan, joined by
Raph.
And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. And we're available on all major podcast homes, so leave us a great comment. Follow, subscribe, all the usual thingamaflopsies that you're supposed to do.
5 stars reviews.
Blah-de-blah-de-blah, the boring stuff, you know. But let's get on to NXT Stand and Deliver. So what did you think overall of the two nights, night one and night two?
It was very good. I feel like the night one had a better pace than night two.
I think night one was the better show.
Yes.
Overall.
Yes, I agree.
I think it had, and it's not to say, because I think that, well, you could say night one had the best match on it, really.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up, I guess. Depends what your preferences are.
Yes, like night two for me personally got better as it went along.
Yes, 100%. It got so much better as it went along.
The first couple of matches took a bit to get started, but then...
Yeah, no, I agree completely. But I think it was all a very good show. Like with NXT, it's always like nitpicking, really.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's more of a style. And
they do a very good job.
Yeah, Takeover's always great.
Yeah.
But it was weird to have a Takeover which had 10 matches on it, essentially.
Yes.
That was very strange within itself. Mm-hmm. Very...
All the titles, all the...
Yeah, all the titles, all the contenderships, all this... Everything. But yeah, but I think night one would have been worse if we'd watched it not on the network.
Yes.
Because if we had to deal with the ad breaks, I think it would have completely killed the flow.
Mm-hmm. It would have just felt like a normal NXT, and then we just wouldn't pay as much attention.
Yeah, I always hate the ad breaks and stuff. It just completely takes me out of it. It's really difficult. And the picture-in-picture just doesn't work for me.
No.
It doesn't work at all. I appreciate being able to see, but I either don't pay attention or I can't get into it because I can't hear any sound.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you have to listen to the adverts. It's boring. It's pointless. But yeah, anyway, so let's move on to night one. We started off with the pre-show match, Zoe Starks versus Toni Storm. Zoe Starks got the quick roll-up victory over Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Bit of a surprise, that one. We both thought that Toni was probably going to win it.
Yes.
But like Zoe Starks needed the win. She's lost a lot. She's had a lot of great matches recently, but she has lost all of them.
Yeah, it was surprising, but then at the same time, kind of, once she won, we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to do it. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Toni Storm, but if they're going to make this into a feud with Toni and Zoe Starks, then I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it.
Or like move Zoe Starks back to Dakota Kai maybe, because Dakota's going to need something to do while Raquel's being champion and all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. There's interesting things you can do with it. Oh yeah, well, you're listening to you're listening to a review show. You should know what's happening. Otherwise, on your own head be it. If you only wanted to hear about the pre-show match and that was it, I don't understand why you're listening. But yes, anyway. Do listen. But it was a fun match. Pretty standard stuff. It was always odd to see NXT doing pre-show matches. I always find it slightly weird because they rarely ever do them. But yeah, it was a nice little warm-up. We should talk about the crowd briefly before we get started. The crowd, very full. Apparently everyone went through negative COVID tests and stuff. I
appreciated them wearing masks and stuff, but it felt very odd that they were all so close together.
Yeah, and I found it so funny whenever they show one of the wrestlers or Stephanie McMahon standing by a potential signing or a new signing, then it was just them all not in masks. Yeah. Which is very strange to me. Including with Gable Stevenson, because the guy next to him who wasn't wearing a mask was his dad, I think. But he had nothing to do with this, with the fact that he didn't matter. He wasn't in part of this shot. But for some reason they went, no, he's not going to wear a mask for this shot. Yeah. And I don't really understand why. But whatever. Hey ho. Whatever. It's not on WWE's head there. I'm making my own opinions without proper knowledge and facts behind it.
Yeah, no, of course.
But I found the crowd a little bit annoying.
Yes, more night two than night one.
Yeah, it's because we had the longer matches on night two.
Yes,
and it was those typical big NXT matches.
Especially the last two matches was a bit like okay, guys, too much. Too much.
It was very much a crowd that very
Stop
much
amusing yourselves.
wanted to amuse themselves and they wanted to make the show as good as possible.
Yes.
But it was mainly about them experiencing experiencing a wrestling show and stuff. And it took me out of the match just a little bit with what they were chanting in the main event. But
yeah, it's fine.
hey ho. But on to note one, we kicked things off with Pete Dunne versus Kushida. Yes, that's what it was.
Goodness me.
That probably states that's kind of the reaction to the match as well. It's kind of, it's a shame that match happened on this event. I don't think perhaps it shouldn't have happened. I'm really glad Pete Dunne and Kushida got to have a match at Takeover.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was necessary. Yeah. Especially with the fact that Io and Raquel obviously they lost out on some time because there was some overrunning.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have minded like five extra minutes of Ciampa and Walter.
Yes,
5 extra minutes
100%.
of the main event.
Yeah,
a bit more of the tag maybe, but probably not for the tag. But yeah, I would have liked a bit more time in the 2 championship matches. Would have been good. So maybe this match didn't need to be there, but Pete Dunne deserves the opportunity to be on Takeover. So does Kushida. It's a shame that Kushida always loses. Yes. Whenever he has a big match, it's just like, nope.
Yeah.
And especially since I'm saying especially a lot, but since you know that it's like Kushida's never going to, I shouldn't say never, but looking at Kushida from a blanket perspective, he's not really someone who's ever going to do that well on the main roster.
Yeah.
Not while Vince is in charge. And Kushida's already quite old, so he's probably not going to be around after Vince is no longer in charge. So I don't really see him necessarily doing that well on the main roster. So I want him to be doing better in NXT because of that, because I don't see him having a bright future on the main roster.
I know what you mean. I think like if he gets different competition, like people more like not his size, but people more his style as well, I think it will help.
I think he has enough people that his style. Like the Johnny Gargano match was great.
Yes.
Like it's just a shame that he's kind of now pigeonholed into the position of being the jobber to the stars per se.
He's the person to make the stars look better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a shame.
Yes.
It was a good match between Pete and Kushida. Lots of technical stuff. It's obviously supposed to be technical mastery.
Yeah.
It was really nice stuff.
What you'd expect, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a shame that it's already kind of a blur compared to the rest of it. I have to be honest. But it all came to the end with Pete hitting the bitter end. Kushida trying to had a arm lock locked in, I think, and then Pete managed to do his finger break on the fingers and then turned it into the bitter end for the victory. But yeah, it was a good match. Like, I'm not going to say it wasn't a good match, but
it was the weakest one of the night.
Probably could have been the main event for the first night on Tuesdays, maybe, or something like that. But oh well. Next up, we had the big Gauntlet Eliminator match, which was Lio Rush and Isaiah Swerve Scott coming out first, and then Cameron Grimes. No, it wasn't. Bronson Reed was third. Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes was number 4, then Dexter Lumis.
Was he?
Yeah. Bronson was third.
Oh, yeah.
Bronson was third.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
And then LA Knight having the 6th position after the Battle Royal from last week. Things started off very quickly. I thought Leon Ruff was trying to do a really cool entrance.
Yeah, sliding on the floor. It just looked like
he was rolling in.
Yeah.
But then it turned out he'd been attacked by Swerve Scott.
It was really funny.
I really like the way they've changed Swerve Scott's gear. Because he hasn't really been on NXT that much since his heel turn. I don't remember him. Yeah. But like he's cool. He had like a long like golden coat with a big collar. It was really nice. Yes. I liked it. I like his new gimmick, how it works for him. Yeah. And this match was a really good spotlight for him. It was really good
for him, yeah.
Because I wouldn't have expected him to last as long as he did in this match. And he had some really great offense in this match. He was really good. Both him and Leon Ruff got off to an amazing start. Yeah. They were like laying into each other.
Yes, they were. Until they actually got into the ring. They were just
Leon Ruff hit that huge suicide dive onto, I think it was Leon, hit a big suicide dive onto Isaiah into the bit where there's no backing.
Yeah, where there's no...
there's no framing to protect the audience.
Vinyl thingy.
Yeah. They were just going at it, man.
And then dropping... I think Isaiah dropped Leon Ruff onto the barrier as well.
Yeah, he did.
Like to his back and stuff, and then to the belly. Like, yeah.
Leon, like both these guys are great. Leon Ruff particularly is Like the way he can move around the ring is just fascinating to me.
The way he sells everything as well is just so cool.
Yeah.
And he's so smooth, so just, yeah.
But like when he gets caught on the top rope and then he does the jump down to the second rope, jump down to the first rope, jump down to the floor, jump into a move.
It always scares me as hell, but it's incredible.
It's really cool. I really enjoy his stuff.
Yeah.
Especially like a guy who's so tiny.
Yes, exactly.
Like, and I don't mean tiny by height, I just mean tiny because there's nothing to him.
Yeah.
And it's just very impressive to see him. Mm-hmm. And it's nice also that you don't really notice it in the ring. At least I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I did
I could see him go for the cruiserweight.
He should
Championship.
Yeah, he should. That'd be a great thing to move forward to. Would be him versus Santos going forwards.
Santos Escobar.
At least that'd then be a good feud, like a proper feud for Santos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, and then you can also keep Swerve involved because Swerve could be the third man in that feud.
Yeah, exactly. No, it would be a really nice spot for them two to be.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. But this match started. Then Bronson Reed came out third once his music hit. So it was every 3 minutes someone else came in. Mm-hmm. So Bronson came in, kind of just destroying the two smaller guys pretty much. And as you would expect from Bronson.
The smaller guys just trying to like hit him and try to put him down and he just wouldn't budge.
Yeah. Yeah. But out came Cameron Grimes next. Grimes and...
With his money.
Grimes and Isaiah Swerve Scott kind of teamed up a little bit. Grimes gave him a bundle of cash.
Yeah.
A bundle of cash.
And Isaiah was like, oh, okay. Okay.
And then kind of out of nowhere, Leon Ruff gets eliminated.
Yes.
It's kind of
out of nowhere.
But it wasn't unexpected. Bronson Reed just hit a massive move and knocked him out. It makes sense. Morton's so much bigger than Leon Ruff, so it made perfect sense. Out came Dexter Lumis being all creepy and spooky. And then came LA Knight. LA Knight and Dexter Lumis had a few issues in the match. Lumis looked like he had Cameron Grimes eliminated with the sleeper hold.
Yeah.
But then it was a cool way to get Dexter Lumis out.
It was really cool.
Clever. LA Knight hit a jackknife pin to get rid of Dexter Lumis while he had the submission on Grimes.
Yeah.
Which then, so Lumis wasn't aware of what was going on entirely, which got Lumis eliminated. But then LA Knight, immediately after that, everyone teamed up on him and he got eliminated by a tsunami from Bronson Reed. And he was gone.
Yeah.
And then outside the ring, Lumis puts on the sleeper onto LA Knight.
Gives him a little stroke.
It's going to be such a weird feud.
Yes.
Like LA Knight's a good talker, and I'm sure it'd be interesting. But it's like the talker, the guy who just talks, versus the guy who just doesn't say a word.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's interesting though.
I hope we go back to the Johnny Loomis stuff though.
Yes.
Because that hasn't ended.
It hasn't ended, yeah.
Like they need to kind of put a bow on that. Mm-hmm. I don't know, yeah. I think Bronson did need the win tonight, and I think it led to a better match on night 2.
Yeah. And then there was a really cool point where it was two of the small guys and Bronson fell on the two of them and I thought it was going to pin just both of them. It was Leon Ruff and...
Yeah, it was back near the beginning of the match. They were doing some move and then Bronson... No, it was near the end. No, it was at this point here. It was Grimes and Swerve were going at it a little bit. They hit something. I can't remember what they hit, but they'd been teaming up on Bronson Reed. Mm-hmm. So Bronson Reed was knocked silly. And then I think Isaiah hit a big suplex onto... Or brainbuster, I think it might have been, onto Grimes. And then he was going in. He looked like he was going to go for the pin. And then Bronson Reed just literally collapsed after being dizzy from before and just collapsed on top of them. And it looked like he was going to double pin them, but it didn't end up being that way because their shoulders were up. And
then there was a point where Bronson Reed also grabbed Isaiah and Leon Ruff from the corner and just flipped them both from the top of the corner and everything. Yeah. It had really cool spots.
It was a really fun match. It was long, but it didn't feel long.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Swerve Scott ends up getting the roll up on Cameron Grimes, I believe. Mm-hmm. Bit of a shocking elimination there. Yes. But it's good. But I guess it's good to protect Cameron Grimes, just so he doesn't have to eat a proper pin from Bronson Reed, because it was a bit of a cheeky roll uppy stuff. So. Mm-hmm. Oh, because they were both, because Cameron Grimes rolled up Isaiah, pulled the pulled the pants.
Yes.
And then Isaiah rolled through, pulled the pants on Cameron Grimes, and managed to get the elimination that way.
Yes, that was it.
And then we had like a good 5 minutes of just Isaiah Swerve Scott and Bronson Reed having great chemistry. And
really
just
good. Really, really good.
going for it, properly going for it. But it all came to the end with the tsunami from Bronson Reed. And Bronson moved forward to night 2 to face Gargano.
There was Gargano on the ramp.
Yes,
looking
he came
at
out
him,
to go and
being
look.
okay.
Okay then. Okay, I can do you. I can take you.
Rude.
But we move next on to probably the best match of, depending on your opinions. I'm undecided. I think it probably was my best match of the weekend. It's not a weekend. It's midweek.
Yes.
It's midweek. Ciampa and Volta.
Hell
I was about to say Ciampa and Thatcher. Thatcher was nowhere to be seen in this.
Yeah, that's very odd.
But I guess we'll see more of it on NXT.
Yeah.
Because I guess they don't typically move on stories too much on takeovers with like extra stuff. It's very much usually they'll just
with,
have
a
the
lot
match.
of backstage, not backstage stuff, but like having them talking at the mic too much.
Well, they just don't really. Well, that's not what I mean. I just mean they don't really typically have big story moments on takeovers. They have obviously they tell the stories through the matches, but they're not going to have they don't typically have big swerves.
Yeah.
Unless it's like the final match of the show, really.
Okay. Yeah.
Because obviously the Ciampa and Gargano stuff.
Yeah, no.
And,
I agree.
Adam Cole attacking Kyle O'Reilly and all that kind of stuff. But typically they don't really have much interference-y stuff. But yeah, this was a great match between these guys. Really good. Walter can't put on a bad match. And it's good to see Ciampa, no longer old man Ciampa, shaving his hair off.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, really fun
so
match.
Happy.
Walter chopped into bits. He ended up, Ciampa was on the table and Walter went to chop Ciampa, but Ciampa moved out of the way and Walter destroyed the table with a chop.
Yes. He has just destroyed the Stand and Deliver logo.
Yeah. And that's kind of the story of the match, was the fact that Walter couldn't really hit the chop. He couldn't hit the chop, so I bit my tongue. He couldn't hit the chop because his hand had been destroyed from when he did that chop earlier in the match. Ciampa tries to take advantage of the hand, but it doesn't really work out for him. Walter manages to get back into it. Hits 3 power bombs in a row. Ciampa manages to kick out, but then Walter manages to hit a nasty chop to Ciampa, which just knocks him out. And he's just down.
Yeah, and it was really cool because it was nice to have Ciampa also get a bit of offense into it. Because obviously at the end, Walter's chest was still pretty much scratch and red from some hits that
Ciampa looked really good in this. Ciampa hit the fairy tale ending. He had a 2.9 count on Walter. Commentary kind of went wild, being like, oh, this is the closest Walter's ever gone to losing his championship and all that kind of stuff. I think Ciampa looked really good, and I hope they use this momentum to go forwards.
Yes.
Because obviously we were expecting the Thatcher turn to come sooner rather than later. Especially since they put Killian Dane and Drake Maverick back together.
Yeah.
Without any really story progression with the Alexander Wolf stuff. So the Thatcher turn kind of has to come sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And on the pre-show, they had a thing backstage where Thatcher was just going you can do this. He's not Irish or whatever accent that was. He's American, but you can do this, essentially. But yeah, superb match between these guys.
Yes.
And Walter did end up retaining his championship against Rampage in NXT UK as well. So Walter, still your longest reigning champion of the modern era with ridiculous amount of days.
2 years and something.
2 years and something. It's redonkulous.
It's crazy, yeah. It's incredible.
And even without the pandemic, I still feel like he would have still held it.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
I guess the only question, maybe the Ilya Dragunov match might have gone differently, and maybe Ilya would have won it, but that's the only thing I can think of. That's the only person they built up.
Yes.
That's the only person they built up.
Yes.
But yeah. Anyway, on to the tag team match that followed this. It kind of suffered from the fact it had to follow this match.
Yeah, I agree.
It took a bit to get into this one. So this was Grizzled Young Vets, Legado del Fantasma, and MSK. Of course, the Dusty Cup winners. Pretty much the match was MSK and Grizzled Young Vets are kind of mostly going at it most of the time.
Yes, most of the time they were. Legado wasn't really much in the match.
At the beginning of the match they were. They started the match off, then they kind of got knocked out to the side, and there was a lot of MSK and Grizzled Young Vets.
Yeah, there was a really cool tag from MSK. I can't really say.
Yeah, Wesley ended up doing lots of flips and stuff, as you'd expect.
Yeah, it was so good. So good.
But it all came down to Grizzly Young Vets looked like they had the victory. They had the submission on both of MSK. They had the Gibson had the Shankly Gates on. And it looked like it was all going to be over. They both got in the ring and they were doing the holding hands thing, the DIY, the revival DIY spot they were doing. And but then Legado del Fantasma dove in from the top rope, breaking it up. Legado got taken out by a huge doomsday device on the outside, which is brutal.
Yeah.
But then once they got back in the ring, Grizzly Young Vets ended up eating the pin from MSK's finisher. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they called it. I don't think they said.
Yeah, the really cool flippy and then push.
I don't really. No, not that. That's not their finisher.
No,
their finisher's the one. I can't remember, but I think it's quite a boring finisher, to be honest with you. They could use a better finisher. But they pick up the big victory like they were going to a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And they managed to get the titles this time. So yeah, good stuff there. It was a fun match. It just suffered from placement.
Yeah. Makes me happy for MSK, obviously, but...
Yeah. I know obviously they didn't want to have all the women's stuff on one night. But I think maybe they should have had the women's tag titles in this spot.
Maybe.
And then had the men's tag titles on night 2. I think it might have just given a bit of a difference in styles. Because on night 2, there was a lot of slow matches.
Yes.
And the tag team match would have sped things up. Whereas this match kind of needs the slower match to kind of take its place.
Because there was so many people, Yeah. Because there was the 3 tags.
Well, not even so many people. It was just they're all they were just high flying and
flyers,
stuff.
Yeah.
So it could have just needed a slower match in this position. In my opinion, I'm not in charge. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's what I would have done.
Exactly.
But yes, then we had our main event of night 1. Io taking on Raquel Gonzalez. Dakota Kai tried to interfere right at the beginning of the match, but she got thrown out by the ref.
Yeah.
Told off by the referee. Like, no.
Get out.
Get out of here. They ended up going up to the ramp, and Io climbed up on top of the massive skull in the entranceway and dove off the top of that. She can't help but dive off of things.
It's the thing, like, if you have a big prop on the set, you're gonna know
Io's gonna jump off it.
Gonna jump off of it.
Yeah, it was a really cool dive.
Yeah.
It's a really nice set as well. The set was beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I really liked the set.
It was a good way to keep like the connection to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it felt like and it felt different to the regular whatever they call it, the Capital Wrestling Center. Because like they kind of ended up adopting those X's like they had for the 30 and the 31. And so it was nice to have a good change here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that. I liked how it all looked for once. I don't really usually like how it looks there. It felt a little
bit different.
But it felt different.
Yeah.
But yeah, Raquel ends up kicking out the moonsault. Apparently the first person to kick out the moonsault.
Yeah.
I questioned that. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
In a singles match, question mark?
I have no idea. I just don't think it's true.
Yeah.
Like, because if you go back, just because going back to when Io wasn't this character.
Yes. I
feel like she lost a lot. She didn't, not a lot, but she did lose quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like people would have kicked out of her moonsault back then. So I'm not entirely sure.
Not sure.
But I don't trust them on that one. But Raquel ends up getting the win with her huge finish, chokeslammy thing.
Yeah.
To pick up the title. And she looked very happy. She was a very happy person.
She was so happy.
And yeah, it was a good match. It wasn't like anything special, this match, but it was good for what it was. Yes. And especially considering Raquel's not necessarily the best in-ring competitor, I thought she looked very good in this match.
She did. She did. It was really interesting because having Io being as fast as she is, like, it helps out keeping the pace of the match with Raquel being as tall and as strong as she is.
Especially since all of like Raquel's best matches have been with Rhea, really.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of hoss fight style instead of it being with a high flyer.
Yeah.
Like those matches haven't necessarily been as good. There's been more mistakes in those kind of matches, in my opinion. But I felt like she really performed.
She did very well.
And she deserved to win on that night. And I look forward to see what Io's going to do next.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe she'll win the women's tag titles at WrestleMania.
By herself.
With Asuka. After Asuka loses her Raw Women's Championship, she's going to come and win the tag team championships with Io Shirai.
Hey.
Or more likely, Io will team with Billie Kay and then lose.
Yes.
Lose in the tag team turmoil match. Yeah, that's not my prediction.
Yeah.
But yes, on to night 2. We kick things off with the ladder match between Devlin and Santos Escobar. Didn't really work for me.
I liked all the flying spots, but that was it.
I think the spots were good.
Yeah.
Like Devlin's moonsault from the top of the ladder was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the spots were really cool. The Spanish fly from the ladders was really nice.
All of the things like the high flying flip things off high things was nice.
I think I just expected a little bit more faster paced from this match.
Yes.
It was very slow. It was very methodical.
Yes. I agree.
And I think the heel versus heel thing hurt this match as well. Because Devlin was he was acting as the babyface in this match.
Yeah.
Because Legado del Fantasma came out and beat him up during the match. But then at the end of the match, Santos's kid comes out to celebrate with him, like Santos is the babyface.
That was actually really cute.
Which was really sweet and cute, but Santos is
like,
supposed to be the bad guy, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Devlin was meant to be the better guy on this match, but then the crowd was all chanting for Santos.
Which
made it feel like...
people haven't seen Devlin, really.
Exactly.
Because he hasn't been there for a year.
So it kind of made it feel like Santos was meant to be the better guy, but then he was the one talking...
He was it was confused, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also he spent about 20 years getting those titles down.
Yes.
So the end of the match came, they were both on top of the ladder, and Santos pushed Devlin off into another ladder in the corner.
Yeah.
And then he very slowly takes the 2 titles down. He's like, oh, look up, there's
he
titles
looks up.
there.
Oh.
Gets one down. Oh, very nice. Had a look at it, places it flat down the ladder, then goes, I guess I'll get the other one as well. Gets the other one down, places it down as well. Yeah. It was a good match.
Yeah.
I just don't, the story didn't work for me in this one. And like I was saying about the fact that a lot of these matches felt quite slow on night 2, this kind of started that for me.
Yes.
To be honest. But
it was really sweet at the end.
With Santos' kid coming out, it was lovely.
Yeah, because Santos came in with a mask, with a luchador mask. So he just gave it to his kid. His kid put it on, and then he gave him the title, and they were both really happy. And the kid was so excited.
Yeah, they had a title each. It was lovely. Sweet. Yeah, it was a really sweet moment. But next up, we had the women's tag team titles, The Way taking on the Fire Pit, Shotzi and Ember. Woo! Well,
Ember has... But yeah, Ember has a new hair colour.
Yep, her hair's now bright purple to match with Shotzi.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It looks really good on her.
Yeah, their entrance is just great. They have such a great package as a duo.
Yes.
It works so well.
They're really funny.
But this... Again, this match, there's nothing wrong with this match. Again, it's a perfectly good match.
Yes.
It just, the match was good. There's literally no issue to it. We've seen it quite a few times. There's a slight issue with it, I would say. It was a good match.
Yeah, I'm always happy to see Shotzi wrestle.
Yeah.
She always impresses me. I don't know why. Because she's not, crazy incredible. But I just really like her style, and I really like what she does in ring.
I really like the idea of seeing these two... Because this was really interesting. I don't know how old Ember is. I think she's probably in her early 30s.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see how this tag division's kind of working for that. Because Ember being with Shotzi's young.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
you have Indy, who's only 24, 25.
Exactly.
With Candice. It's a really good way for these guys to be getting experience. It's
having,
the right way to be using
new guys in the... company teaming up with
with people with good experience. I'm not saying those Indy and Shotzi are bad in the slightest.
No.
But at least they can learn from these guys and help them for when they do single stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a good match though. But Ember and Shotzi got the victory and the end hitting. Ember hit a dual. What's it called? What's that finish called?
Ember, Eclipse. Total Eclipse. Total Eclipse of the Blackheart.
Total Eclipse of the Blackheart, yeah. That's what they said on commentary. But yes, he hit the Eclipse and then Shotzi hit the senton onto Indy Hartwell for the victory. It was a fun match. Fun match.
Just again, it just felt very different from night 1. Not very slow paced, but slower than
I think this match would have been better placed on night 1.
Yes.
Personally, like I said earlier, so I've said my piece on it. Next up, Bronson Reed got his match against Johnny Gargano after winning the Gauntlet Eliminates the night before. Story of this match is very much about the size between the two of them.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed being a lot bigger, obviously, than Johnny Gargano, preventing Johnny from being a lot of his offense.
Yeah.
But obviously then the turning point in the match was because Bronson was tired from having wrestled the day before.
Yeah.
And also having
His
Austin
back
Theory.
still hurt.
Yes, and having Austin Theory getting involved on the outside. Oh, we didn't mention the... I can't remember, was that in the Gauntlet match? When they... Yes, it was. It was Isaiah in the Gauntlet match when he pulled Bronson off on the top rope and dropped him onto the apron.
Yes.
Yeah, that was in the
Wow.
Gauntlet match. That was such a cool spot.
Yeah.
But yes, but this match was very much
impressive.
to do with the size difference between the two men. It made it a very different match for Johnny.
I was really happy with it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was nice to have a change in that kind of style. As much as I love Johnny's matches, it was nice to have a change of styling for him. He might still with a bigger guy and a bit more of a...
And to once again show that you can do other things rather than just the fast
quick
pace.
reversal, kick out.
It was actually a really interesting teaming up of both Bronson and Gargano.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have Bronson who is just muscle and strength and everything, and then Gargano being really quick.
Yes. No, I was laughing at the saying he's all muscle. I apologise. I'm a mean person. I apologise. I'm sure he is all muscle underneath it all. I'm not going to deny his strength.
He's strong.
He could beat me the hell up. It's fine.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, so Bronson manages to catch Gargano out of the one final beat a few times.
Yeah.
Austin Theory ends up getting involved on the outside. Reed goes for a huge suicide dive, tries to hit both of them, but Gargano moves out of the way, which then means that Reed just hits Theory. Gargano tries to take advantage, tries to hit the one final shot, one final beat again. I hate the fact that it's one final beat because I want to call it one final shot.
What?
But then because of the last shot. But that's because that's Adam Cole's finisher.
I see.
I think. Oh, my brain's gone now. I'm getting confused. But yes, Bronson manages to catch him, stops him from doing it, but then Gargano hits it again, taking him down. Bronson's not entirely out, so he has to do it once more. Knocks him out properly, and 1, 2, 3. Gargano still your North American champion.
Yeah.
Whether that's the right decision or not, I'm not entirely sure. For Bronson, I'm not entirely sure.
I was thinking during the match, because there wasn't really any, not any build to it, because obviously you had the gauntlet match and you had the Royale Casino, not Casino Royale.
The Casino Battle Royale, the Gauntlet Eliminator.
Yeah, exactly, before. Obviously you had the build for Bronson to be in this match, but it didn't really have a story between Bronson and Gargano.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that, it's really nice, and because we do love Johnny with the title anyways.
Yes, completely. He's doing a great job.
I think it would be really funny to have Johnny keep the title and having Bronson trying to go after him. Rebuild a little bit more of
or just have
story.
I completely agree with you. But I think also just have it so everyone's after Gargano essentially. Make Dexter, so Dexter still wants Gargano,
exactly.
but Dexter's also dealing with LA Knight.
Yeah.
LA Knight is dealing with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed's dealing with LA Knight. They all want Gargano. They all have to deal with each other to try and get a shot at Gargano.
Yeah, exactly.
Gargano.
Gargano had the title for too long. Let's all go after it.
Yeah.
But then we also have a big feud between all of us.
Yeah, I think exciting stuff. I love Johnny as the champion.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he does a great job, and he's really managed to turn things around after last year, where he was this time last year.
Yeah.
Really turned things around. But yes, next up we had the NXT Championship match.
Yay!
I was like, there must be something else in between, but no, there wasn't.
No.
NXT Championship match: Karrion, Kross, and Finn Balor. The best match the Kross had in NXT.
Surprising, yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good. Not surprisingly good for Finn, surprisingly good for...
Yeah, for Kross.
Karrion.
Kross doesn't really do anything for me, personally. But I thought this match...
Yeah, for you, he's very much like a standard guy. He's just
I think he looks generic.
Yeah.
Personally. And his ring work doesn't blow me. Nothing about him really blows me away.
Yeah, no.
I could see him I agree with people saying he'll do well on main roster. Mm-hmm. Completely.
Yes.
But I just don't. I don't enjoy him.
No, I don't.
And he doesn't have his character isn't interesting because Scarlett is his character.
Scarlett, yeah, exactly.
He's the extra piece that doesn't really fit in the puzzle at the moment for me.
He's just wrestling for Scarlett because Scarlett is a woman and she can't wrestle on the man's division.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd to me. It's the entrance is all about her. It's all about her introducing him. It's all about the mystical stuff that she's doing.
During
she's
the
there.
actual match, she
was talking in tongues during the actual match, shouting to Kross. It's weird to me because it's not like they're playing it up as Scarlett's influencing Kross. They're not really playing it up that way. And they're not playing it up like Kross is also a spoopy dude. No. Kross just seems like a very normal dude wrestling in his pants.
Yeah.
And doing boxing training in his pants. But yes, it's not clicking for me. I'll be honest, it's not clicking. But this was the best match that he's had.
Very good match, yeah.
It was a really good match. Finn Balor did a really great job in this match, and it helped Kross so much.
Yes.
It really helped Kross. Kross looked great ruining Finn Balor. He really completely took it to, and Finn did have some points where he was on top.
Yeah, but then Karrion would just let his emotions run crazy and just kill Finn.
Kind of just wrecked him.
Yeah.
It was a really good match though. I really enjoyed it, but it all came to an end with the Doomsday SIA. Yeah. And then I hate it. I thought this is just stupid because it just defies logic. The Finn Balor just turns his back to Karrion.
Yes.
Because that's his finisher.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was literally like he was in the corner the first time the Karrion did it. Yeah. And he was in the corner looking away from Bronson Locke. From Karrion. And I even commented, I was like, why did he turn his back on him?
And then I literally went, because he's going to hit his finisher.
Yeah.
I just kind of, it's a contrived finisher. I know there's more contrived things. There's more things to kind of get fussy about. Still. But it's a contrived finish. It's cool, but it's just contrived. Yeah. Like, because if you look at the way...
It's just like, because they always, at least Finn still looked very much like he knew where he was. You know what I mean?
Especially for that first one. For the second one, I'll give it to you. Yeah. For the first one, he kind of knew where he was.
Yeah, so, he wasn't like knocked out or anything like that.
Yeah, it just kind of, that's the only thing. Yeah. But I know obviously it's very different, but I kind of wish it was more similar to Will Ospreay's, I forget what he calls it, it's Assassin's Blade or whatever. Because essentially it's the opponent's on their knees. Yeah. And then he'll run to the ropes. And it's basically Adam Cole's last shot, but with the elbow instead. With the elbow to the back of the head instead of the knee to the back of the head. I kind of wish it was something like that.
No, something like that. Because obviously when you're on your knees, you're more vulnerable. Like you turned your back, but you didn't turn your back. You just got knocked out to the ground.
Or it can just be the thing where he does whatever move he wants to do, does the suplex or whatever, and then the person gets back to their feet and Kross runs to the rope and uses the rebound to do it. Exactly. Instead of just running straight at them. I think that would just help it. Yeah. Just for logics wise, because people turning their back, because why would you turn your back to him? It's just stupid. Yes. It just makes you look stupid. But yeah, it was a fun match.
Funny comment on the ladder match going way back. Yeah. When they were like, the ladder defied the laws of physics.
It's like, no, it didn't defy. That doesn't make any sense.
On the contrary, because basically like they were moving the ladder and stuff, and then the ladder just kind of like flew away or something like that. And it's like, no, on the contrary, the ladder didn't.
It was when Santos threw Devlin into the ladder in the corner, and then Devlin bounced off the ladder onto the outside.
Yes.
So they were just like, everything's defying the laws of physics. The ladder is defying the laws of physics. It's like, no.
No, it's on the contrary. Like, the ladder is very much obeying the laws of physics.
It's a good ladder. I pet it on the head. Good ladder.
The ladder's not, like, gravitating.
Yeah.
It's not floating. Anyway.
But yes, Kross is your new NXT champion.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
We'll see what happens. As long as he keeps improving, I can deal with it.
Yeah, someone was kind of like talking about how, like, because Karrion is very much like so strong and everything, that Finn could come back as the demon and try and defeat him. But then again, like we were talking about, Karrion Kross is not really the devil, is Scarlett who is. So
yeah, it's still it's confusing to me, and I don't see who's going to beat him.
No.
Because it has to be someone not big in terms of like a big star. Mm-hmm. Like it has to be someone who's large. Yeah, in my opinion, someone strong and large.
Yeah.
Because like obviously Kyle O'Reilly's going to end up in this position again.
Yes.
To face off with the champion. but I can't see Kyle O'Reilly beating Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
I can't see it. I just can't see it.
No.
Obviously, anything can happen. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't know where they're going to go with it. We'll have to wait and see. Yes, Cameron Grimes is your next NXT champ. He's going to pay Scarlett.
Yes. And
then she's going to give up Karrion Kross. Anyway, on to our main event of the night. It was an unsanctioned match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. They had their security guards with them, making sure they wouldn't start fighting, even though Kyle O'Reilly could have just run and started punching Adam Cole.
Yes, exactly.
The security guards were a bit much, but
they should have put Kyle on the other side of the security guards.
Because then Adam Cole couldn't have done his boom.
Oh yes,
that's why.
Yes.
But it didn't make sense because Kyle could have just run him and beaten him up.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Hey ho.
It's funny. Literally doesn't matter. But yeah, this was a long match. This was a very long match. Trying to be like the Gargano and Ciampa matches from back in the day, very much. Very much the typical NXT style of these kind of matches.
Yeah.
Lots of chairs. The chairs with the Undisputed Era logos on them.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic
Very
match.
dramatic. Yeah, they ended up getting a chain out, attaching the chain to the rope. Really cool spot where they kind of used it like a guillotine.
Yeah.
Where Kyle O'Reilly ran into an uncle, pulled the chain so that he would behead
Kyle basically.
O'Reilly.
It was really nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal stuff. Yeah. But kind of disappointingly I found it a little bit disappointing, this match-ish. Not disappointing because of the stuff they were doing in the ring. Again, like everything else, it was a really great match.
Yes.
It was a really great match. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I talk about what I was going to say, the table spot was superb. When the table didn't break and he slammed him down on it.
Yeah, so they punching each other out, and then it looks like Adam's gonna lift Kyle and throw him onto the table, but then Kyle gets a reversal and just slams Adam Cole onto the table.
And it just doesn't break.
But the table doesn't break.
It just doesn't break. It's like they proper go for it, but it just doesn't break. It's hilarious.
And then you get a spot of Kyle getting out of the table and he's full of papers attached to it.
Yes, he's got all the paper, all the notes.
I am the papers.
Yes, Adam Cole hits him with a TV, and it's after that. There's a spot slightly earlier in the match where Kyle goes to hit the brainbuster onto the steps, just like Adam Cole did to him before, but Kyle can't bring himself to do it. He doesn't want to. He can't bring himself to hurt Adam Cole like that.
Heartbreaking.
Which kind of is what costs him in this beginning part of the match.
Yeah.
Adam Cole pretty much wrecks Kyle in the beginning of the match. He
gets a toolbox and everything.
Yeah, he gets a toolbox out. He gets plyery things out, and
he's going to be big and become a dentist.
Yes.
But he couldn't because Kyle moved out of the way.
Yeah. But it ends up with Adam Cole gets annoyed with the referee. The referee is kind of talking too much. So Adam Cole just gets annoyed with him and just punches him out.
Punches him in the face.
And then he hits
goes for the pin.
No, then he hits the Panama Sunrise.
Yes.
And he pins Kyle O'Reilly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
hey, ref.
6. And then he's like, oh, I punched the ref out.
And he's like, do your job. Do your job.
It
was very silly.
The spot's fine itself, but it's stupid because why would Adam do that and then go for the finishing move to put Kyle away and then not realise the ref wasn't going to be there?
Because normally you do this the other way around. It's like, imagine like Adam Cole punches the ref and then Kyle goes for the pin. And then Kyle, typically that's what they do, is like the person that hits the ref gets pinned, but then he doesn't get pinned.
Yeah. So it was odd. And especially since this happened about halfway through the match.
Yes.
So halfway through the match, Adam Cole's already won.
Yeah.
And then Adam Cole goes on to continue beating up Kyle O'Reilly. But then obviously Kyle wins at the end.
Yeah.
But Adam had the match won really early. So it didn't really make sense why Kyle was able to get himself back into the match so much.
Adrenaline.
Especially since Adam Cole ends up putting him through the stage as well.
Yes, exactly.
He puts him through the stage. It's very nice.
The metal thing.
Yeah, they had the black bit and then the metal bit at the top, and he put him through that.
Yeah, because Carly's putting like a hold.
Yeah, he has him in a sleeper hold essentially.
And then Cole just lifts his finger up, as in like no. And then he just jumps onto the stage and just breaks it, and then he goes to the side of the stage and just starts kicking the
drywall to try and get Carl out from underneath.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was fun.
But yeah, Carl gets back in. They end up back in the ring. The ref's back up and all this kind of stuff. Kyle gets the chain around. So they use the chain a few times. Kyle ends up trying to get it around his leg. I don't think this spot ever really worked that well because the chain wouldn't stay put, essentially. So we're trying to emphasize his kicks and the damage doing with the kicks. But the end of the match came. Kyle climbed to the top rope with the chain with him, but Adam Cole managed to reverse, climbed up there with him. Looked like he was gonna take Kyle down, but Kyle hits him with a low blow after Adam Cole low blowed Kyle earlier in the match, and then Adam Cole ends up moving himself into position on this chair that he'd set up in an upside down
position with the legs out.
Why did Adam Cole move himself to that chair?
Yes.
To that chair.
I know.
Whatever.
It's probably bad camera work as well as
it didn't help. It didn't help that we did see Adam Cole literally moving to the chair. But it's a bit silly.
Yes.
And then Kyle wraps the chain around his leg and drops.
Properly clasps it to his leg.
There was the little thing to connect it all together.
Yeah.
And then he drops his knee onto the back of Adam Cole's head, which gets him the pinfall 1, 2, 3. Yeah, at the end, like, this match was good. It was just big convoluted.
Yeah, there was quite a few spots that was like, okay, but if he got knocked out, why is he now fine? Or like,
why did Adam Cole crawl and put himself on top of the chair?
Why is Adam Cole silly and don't realise that him knocking the ref out means that...
Why did Adam Cole just decide to sit on chairs so many times? Whenever he sat on a chair, he just got beaten up.
Yeah. He would just sit on chairs. Oh, I'm tired. I'm going to sit.
I'm going to sit on a chair.
Kyle with a knee. I'm not going to move.
Yeah, it was convoluted. Yeah. It was a good match. It was just a bit convoluted in how it was booked.
Yes.
And after match, Adam Cole was put onto a stretcher and taken out. The idea being that Kyle's now done to Adam what Adam did to him, basically.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yes. I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, like if this wasn't NXT, I would be like glowing with you, essentially.
Yes.
But because it's NXT, you can be a bit more critical about it. But yeah, we should also mention Adam Cole and Kyle's music.
Yeah.
I thought they were both pretty generic, which is a shame.
Like, I knew that Kyle was going to get a new song.
Yeah.
But I was expecting...
I hoped Adam would still have Undisputed.
Yes. Because, like, the song literally... Like, he literally goes, Adam Cole, baby, with the song. Yeah. I know the song is not really... But
it was always his song.
Exactly. I do understand at the same time that the song was connected to Undisputed, so he, as his character, wouldn't want to have the song of Undisputed because he doesn't care about the Undisputed.
Yeah.
But then again, they should have just kept it. No one would have batted an eye. Like,
I think what they should have done is get rid of the Shock the System at the beginning.
Yes.
And just have Adam Cole, baby. Down.
Yeah. I
think that would have made more sense. And then you can still have, because I like the fact they had like Cole being said all the time during his theme. You could have added stuff to the Undisputed Era's theme to make it different.
Cole.
Just not necessarily that. You could have added stuff to make it more different.
Adam Cole.
Yes.
But yeah.
The issue being like, it's okay. Again, it's similar to what we're talking about just NXT generally. It's only a bad comparison because we're comparing it to the Undisputed Era song.
Yes,
but I can't see that being like the end of a show's music. Like you hold on the championship and you have one of those two bits of music. It's like, hey,
yeah. No. It's just like it's been very annoying lately because every new entrance themes that get added to their superstars end up being so generic.
Yeah, and they haven't got very good. Their writers aren't good at the moment.
They don't really have the thing of you hear the song and you're like, oh yeah, it's this person.
I know that it's that person. It took so long, and like it was also last thing, and then it will be over. But I found it hilarious because Johnny and Candice's themes obviously are supposed to sound similar.
Yes,
but then Karrion Kross's theme also sounds basically the same. They all have that. So 3 matches in a row, essentially you had the same song, but just very slightly different, repeated.
Yes.
Yeah, they need to get some new music, people. Their music people ain't
really
great.
Annoying, because you go, whoa, and you know straight away who it is. Whilst with these ones, you sing a random guitar riff or random rhythm on the drums and you're like, who?
Yeah, it could be anyone.
Yeah.
But that's all for our NXT Stand and Deliver review.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, Rafi's going to give reviews now. She's going to give star ratings to things. So 4 out of 5. Well, there you go.
Just to end in a good note.
Well, there you go.
4.5 out of 5.
I'll make sure you do that after WrestleMania as well.
Okay.
But yes, we have our WrestleMania review up later, after WrestleMania, obviously. Have a lot of predictions up later today.
Yes.
/ tomorrow, / whenever. Before WrestleMania. But thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.